Stocks finishing the trading session posting slight losses. Investors not seeing any great pattern in the slew of earnings that came out today. Courtney Donohoe has all the latest from the New York Stock Exchange. Courtney.
Well, Pimm, fingers. They're pointing to a slowing recovery. That definitely weighed on stocks today. There's been lots of disappointing economic reports lately. Investors, they're getting worried that the economy might not be on track. Well, first, durable goods. Orders for those big ticket items falling 1% in June, and that's below the 1% gain economists were expecting. That's the second straight monthly decline. Manufacturing helped drive growth in the early stages of the economic recovery, and this could be a cause for concern for that particular sector. Plus, stocks, they definitely took a leg lower after the beige book was released at about 2 p.m. Eastern. The Fed saying economic growth slowed in some areas, Chicago, Atlanta, over the past 2 months. And speaking of manufacturing earlier, about half of the region said manufacturing has slowed or leveled off. Real estate activity sluggish after the expiration of the homebuyer tax credit. Report also says commercial real estate remains weak, and the Fed will take all of this into account at the FOMC meeting 2 weeks from now, Pimm.
Now, Courtney, there were a lot more earnings that came out today. Give us some of the good news.
Well, first, Sprint reporting a narrower loss than analysts expected. Sprint said it added subscribers for the first time in 3 years. And ConocoPhillips, they said profit more than doubled on improving refining margins. Company also selling its entire 20% stake in Lukoil. That's valued at about $9 billion. Comcast earnings and sales coming in ahead of estimates. More customers bought premium services. Meantime, Visa beating earnings for 10 quarters in a row. And this is a really interesting point. WellPoint became the third U.S. health insurer this month to increase its 2010 profit forecast. And WellPoint joins United Health, Aetna, saying lower medical costs are the reason. Fewer people, they're visiting doctors because of the recession. But revenue, they did miss analyst estimates.
And Courtney, what about disappointing earnings? Boeing seeing, what, a 21% drop in their profit?
Yeah, and sales also missing analyst estimates. The company shipped fewer planes in the period. Boeing also cut its projection for profitability at its defense unit. Slower military spending, that's the reason. Also, speaking of disappointing earnings, International Paper second quarter profit fell 32% because of a charge to close a mill in Virginia.
All right, I want to thank you very much. Courtney Donohoe reporting from the New York Stock Exchange.